Old GPUs are being swapped out for AI. You can now run Unreal Engine in a browser, and Valve's Apple Vision Pro destroying headset that a lot of people are furious about. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're going to be going over the hottest tech news I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Friday. February 16, 2024. That was a good pun. That was good. And we're going to start off today talking about how you can get a 2080 Ti for $500 over on eBay. But this little bad boy's been upgraded with some extra VRAM to be enabled for better AI implementation. No longer are we having GPUs swapped and swapped for mining capabilities. It is now adding VRAM to make it better for that sweet, sweet AI juices. So these 2080 Ti's have been doubled from 11 gigabytes of memory all the way up to 22, cost that cool 500 bones, and allegedly do not need any sort of special driver in order to run and operate at full capacity. It's interesting to see that this is happening. There are a lot of cards in stock. Additionally, this is not the first time we've seen a 2080 Ti manipulated for AI. It's actually been upgraded to 44 gigabytes previously, with each chip being swapped out for 4 times the capacity, but this likely does seem to be a good side hustle. If you have decent soldering skills, you can maybe start putting extra memory chips on the GPUs that you're pulling off, and you can let everybody know about it with today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Pork Bun. Change the way your followers see your social media with porkbuns.bio domain and link in bio hosting bundle. You can grab your custom .bio domain and link in bio tool for only $5 for the first year. Managing your links and building your digital brand has never been easier. Instead of having a huge clunky links and URLs in your bios, you can just use a .bio domain to keep your bio clearer, shorter, and more memorable. Forget the long backslash and show people a URL that they can trust. Backed by 5-star support, 365 days a year, Pork Bun ensures that your links are their top priority. Additionally, every domain comes with free WHOIS privacy, SSL certificates, and more. And you might be wondering what the benefits of link in bio hosting are. Aside from the safety features, Pork Bun allows you to share your latest content across platforms, customize the theme and colors, embed platforms like Spotify and YouTube, add password protection for premium content, and even add age restrictions and content warnings so only intended eyes can see your content. If you're looking to upgrade the way you use social media, check out porkbuns.bio domain and link in bio $5 bundle by clicking the link in the video description below. Big thanks to Pork Bun for sponsoring today's video. And now you can run Unreal Engine 5 in your web browser. We've talked about it previously that web browsers like Google Chrome are swapping over to a new API setup called Web GPU, which is going to allow browsers to use more of your PC resources to render things in the browser. And a company has gotten an Unreal Engine 5 demo to work in Web GPU. So it's just a sneak peek right now. They are saying that it's multi-threaded. It is an asset streaming system, so there are things that still need to be worked out. It's not ready to be shipped out to customers, but they're also working on potentially getting Unity and Godot support as well for Web GPU, and we could potentially start seeing an overhaul on how websites actually run things in browser, and maybe this is going to be the resurgence of RuneScape. Kyler, you want to play RuneScape in a browser again, but like ray trace this time?
Please?
That's what I was saying. But another company that's using Unreal Engine in their vehicles, GM. Let's talk about how they've upgraded their Super Cruise network, which is how they handle their autonomous driving assistant systems, which they have to pre-map all of the roads that this hands-free driving system can use. And now they've announced that they've nearly doubled, adding in 750,000 miles of rural roads that you can use it on. Previously, it was mostly just highways, but GM releasing this map of many more places that you can actually use it in, including a big boost in Canada even. After taking Ford's Blue Cruise across the US multiple times, I can say that it's been fairly reliable. I don't have any personal experience with GMs, but from what I gather, it's roughly similar in experience, which it helps for the stupidly long road trips, which people don't want to keep the Vision Pro for a stupidly long amount of time. And now reports are coming out that many people are returning their Vision Pros, especially as the 2-week deadline is up today. Apple gave people 14 days to actually try out the headset, and then actually when you submit for a return, it gives you roughly 2 more weeks to send it in, so people can roughly get an entire month with this device without actually having to even pay for it, especially if you got it on like your Apple Card, which allows you to get 0% interest over 12 months of payments, and then you paid nothing to have an experience for an entire month, which is what a lot of people are doing. But a lot of people actually regret their experience with the Vision Pro, at least according to the people that The Verge talked to, with many people talking about how they had a lot of uncomfortability. Some people say that it potentially even burst blood vessels in their eyes, cause dry eye, itchiness, irritation, all of that. You got people who say they used it for 2 hours and they're returning it, but it makes a lot of sense. If you can try a $3,500 item for an entire month without spending any money and you always knew you were going to return it, makes a lot of sense that people would do it to check it out. What's this latest, greatest thing from Apple? And then send it on back. There were many reports of this also when the Quest 3 came out. So we'll have to see, once sales are actually reported by Apple, where the Vision Pro really stands in the lineup. For me, I'm not returning mine, but that's because I am willing to take the time to see how this thing improves over time. For me, going through the journey is the valuable part of the Vision Pro, not necessarily thinking that it has to have everything on launch, but it's also completely reasonable and sensible that people say that this doesn't deliver on the experience that they wanted to have it right now. So they're not going to keep it, and they're going to go back to their Quest 3. And I'm going to go back to Reece for the deals. That's what I'm going to do.
Yo, welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals out on the internet. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend and a great start to some deals. Like these Corsair IQ LC100 mini triangle lighting panels, which are basically little nano LEDs for inside your computer, and I really like them. You can pick them up for only $24.74, making them $25.27 off. But then next we have the ever popular Blue Yeti X USB condenser microphone for only $119.99 with the included promo code, making it $50 off. And then lastly, we have the Logitech Pro X super light wireless gaming mouse for only $104.99, making it $55 off. And I might be a little bit biased, just a bit. And that's it. Those are the deals. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below. But until next time, I'm gonna hand you back to Brett for the rest of your hot news. Cheers.
Well, Reece, here's the deal with the 14900KS. According to insider reports, it's going to be releasing in March. I'm not talking much more about that. This chip's supposed to be 6.2 gigahertz. It's going to pull 410 watts at stock. Not many people are going to buy it, but it's going to be Intel's new flagship. Allegedly, March is when we're supposed to be getting it. And OpenAI demonstrating a new flagship technology, and that's they have a new text to video model, which will allow you to just type whatever you want, and it'll create a visual motion from that. They have the examples on their webpage right now. It's known as OpenAI Sora. I do not see gigantic clown shoes anywhere. Goofy and Donald are not in these videos, so I'm a little taken aback, but a lot of this does look fairly impressive, at least the very specific examples that they chose to demonstrate on their website. It definitely looks, especially with these mastodons, like one of those David Attenborough like prehistoric planet documentaries that was done. What are you doing? You trying to scare me? You did it. And also when there's a visual of human face, it doesn't really move that much. I don't know, something about it seems very uncanny, but this also does seem very impressive. OpenAI saying that it's not really ready for everybody to use it right now. This is going to be only for their red team members, who are the people who actually assess the potential harms and risks and kind of beta test it to make sure that there's no flaws in how actually everything can be implemented with it. It's truly impressive. I want to see where this technology goes. I've been paying attention to a lot of generative video AIs that are out there, and this one definitely seems very crisp, at least just based on the demo footage. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see what users end up actually creating. And what OpenAI has created for Nvidia is a lot of market value. They are now the third most valuable company in the entire US, fourth in the world behind Saudi Aramco, Microsoft, and Apple. They recently just passed Alphabet, which is Google's parent company, and they are worth $1.83 trillion, almost past the $2 trillion mark, which is just a lot of money for a company that just used to make video game doodads. It's impressive no matter which way you slice it. It's really interesting to see how this is going to move. I'm curious just how these values will translate to a company like TSMC or any of these fabrication facilities, because realistically, if TSMC goes down, Apple loses a lot of value, Nvidia loses a lot of value. There's other companies that they can kind of pivot to, right? Samsung can kind of make some of these chips. Intel kind of has bleeding edge fabrication facilities, but they can't do it the way TSMC does it, which is why all these companies go with them. So if like TSMC has, geopolitical issues, I'm gonna be watching this to see how all of it plays out. And that's what I was doing yesterday when freaking the Valve Prism got announced. This headset by Valve allegedly is going to be an incredible on-the-go VR setup. So this competes with the Vision Pro in terms of its resolution on the eyes, but has tons of amazing specs. Looks very ergonomic, looks very much like a Valve Index, but now completely portable. This website showing off all of the different features that it has. has inside-out tracking. It's on a GPU that has twice as many compute units as the Steam Deck. It's on Zen 4 for the CPU. It's got 512 gigs of storage, 32 gigs of RAM, 3840 by 3552 pixels per eye, which are 5000 nit micro OLED 90 hertz refresh rate, which absolutely goes toe-to-toe with the Vision Pro. Those specs on the gaming side of things are faster than the Meta Quest 3, but it also runs SteamOS, has the IR-based tracking, all of these features that you see here. It's going to cost $1299 for the 512 gig model and $1499 for the 1 terabyte model, with the Valve Prism allegedly coming soon based on this website, except for the fact that this very convincing website, which looks very similar to the launch website for the Steam Deck, is just a troll by furries from the Midwest FurryCon, who actually released little pamphlets about how the Valve Deckard, which is the code name for Valve's standalone VR headset, was supposed to be launching on Valentine's Day 2024. And somebody developed this website, got everything so close to how the Steam Deck website actually looks, and released it with not taking any money. So this is not a scam. They're not really trying to rip anybody off. They were just completing a joke. The Valve Prism is not real, although it might be real at some point in the future. Valve is allegedly working on something like this, and it could potentially happen at some point in the future. The specs sounded good. It didn't sound so ludicrous. When I first saw this, I believed it because it was being tweeted out by very prominent figures in the VR space. A lot of this really sounded credible. The price also sounded like where it was supposed to be. I am so sad and so bummed that this is just a joke. It's just a troll, but maybe Valve might do something like it. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. Let me know how you feel about the Valve Prism being fake down below in the comments while I respond to ones that you gave me yesterday. We got Mike E-Man saying, fam, I used to get down on some Jak and Daxter. My kid got to play some of the first one recently and loved it. If they brought that series back, I could die happy. Isn't that right, Kyler?
Yes.
Yes. Jak 4. Sony still owns the right to this, and in fact, Kyler just released a video about Jak 4 over on the Hot News Gaming channel, so you should check it out right over there. Then we got Gonermy Leggy saying, oh man, I forgot that AMD did Anti-Lag Plus. Guess I'm not the only one. Really shows the lack of marketing that a feature got pulled and we all kind of forgot. Yeah, well, it was not really hyped up as its like own standalone feature. It was always kind of talked about in the context of HyperRX, which was supposed to be that one-click boost to GPU, which enabled all of these features like FSR3 and the fluid motion frames and Anti-Lag Plus. And the fact that it doesn't exist anymore because it was getting people banned was big at the time, but also like AMD, not great at marketing. So, you know, not great at software either, unfortunately. Then we got the Finnish techie saying, if they make a PlayStation 5 Sly Cooper game, I'm buying a PS5, no questions asked. Kyler, you play Sly Cooper?
Oh, yeah.
I never played it. Like, I know that it was in the era of like when Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, Spyro was kind of dying off at the time. There really wasn't a good PS2 Crash game, but like Sly Cooper was in that.
Golden Age.
The Golden Age, yeah.
Mascot platform.
Mascot platformers. It was good. They should bring it back. Like I liked Spyro Reignited Trilogy. The Crash Bandicoot remakes were good.
Bring them all back.
Bring them all back. We'll spend the money. And then we got Cyberstorm saying Vision Pro needs controllers and controller support. That actually, so I found out that when people are actually working on the Steam VR setup for the Vision Pro, the Valve Index controllers work. So it has controller support with the Vision Pro. It's just not quite clear how that's working out. Additionally, there's like not like rumors, but kind of suggestions that one of the best things that Apple could do is partner with Sony to get the PSVR 2 controllers supported with the Vision Pro, especially because when you go to Apple's website and you look at accessories, they sell the DualSense controller for the PS5 as an accessory for the Vision Pro. So it is possible that we could potentially get some sort of cross partnership between Sony and Apple on the VR controller side of things. I'd be keen, and I'm keen to end this episode of Hot News. I'll be back on Monday with more of the hottest tech news. We'll see you then.